Welcome in, everyone. We have more updates in the Iran, Israel, United States situation after a ceasefire was reached and then breached seemingly by both sides of the agreement. President Donald Trump, as we talked about in a previous video, was not very happy, dropping an F-bomb when discussing what was going on. Now Iran is vowing they will rebuild and get their nuclear program back. President Trump has also discussed today, I'm filming this on June 24th, whether or not he wants to see regime change in Iran. He gave a very interesting answer to that. Seems like things might not be quite as settled as we thought they were. I also have to say, a bunch of you are in the comments asking me if the AC is fixed yet. The answer is no. We had someone here all day Monday working on it. They're coming back today on Tuesday. We're still in the trenches, still fighting, still sweating my ass off. It's 100 degrees outside, but I got the short sleeves on, so we're getting through it. But we got a lot of input, so that's the update on the AC for everyone. It still sucks. But before we get into all of that and more, please make sure to like and subscribe. Comment with your thoughts below on what you want to see President Trump do moving forward. Make sure to hit the bell, all notifications turned on. You won't miss a video. You'll be the most up-to-date person on YouTube. Now, let's get into it. As we all know, President Donald Trump ordered the United States military to hit 3 different nuclear sites across Iran: Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan. Fordo and Natanz were hit with GBU-57 30,000-pound bunker busters, while Isfahan was hit with roughly 30 cruise missiles launched from a submarine in the region. 12 of the GBU-57s hit Fordo, 2 hit Natanz. It is believed at this time, although not officially confirmed, 14 bunker busters did the job and took out Iran's nuclear program. And, now they're in a pickle. And this goes as the ceasefire is ongoing. President Trump has indicated he wants to turn the temperature down. He wants to see this come to an end. He wants the killing and the violence to end. But it seems like Iran might not be interested in reciprocating that mutual feeling we thought existed. Turns out Iran might have every intention of attempting to rebuild. Let me throw this up on the screen for you right here. It says the Iranians are already assessing the damage and plans are in motion to get their nuclear program back underway, to get the program back to enriching uranium, building back towards getting a nuke, which then begs the question, will the United States strike again? If it's determined that Iran actually is going to advance yet again with its program, which has been set back years, if not decades, then the question has to be asked, will the United States get rid of the ceasefire, go in, start hitting more targets, start cleaning up anything that might have been missed, really dropping the hammer? Because remember, President Donald Trump said the U.S. is ready to go back in. The U.S. will go back in if they need to. If they go in a second time, it'll be much easier and much worse because Iran's air defenses have been obliterated. Their military command structure is gone. They don't really have the ability to fight back in any meaningful way. So where does that leave us? Well, President Trump kind of addressed that today on Air Force One while going to the NATO summit. Trump was asked directly about regime change while on the plane, and while he has made it clear that they might need to make Iran great again, we don't really favor a regime change war. That is not what we want to do. Regime change causes all sorts of chaos. Yet, he made some interesting ways of framing it, I would say, where he left the door open for if regime change happens organically, then perhaps it's not something the United States would really stand in the way of or panic over. Let's go ahead and roll the video of his comments right now.
Do you want to see regime change in Iran?
No. If there was, there was. But no, I don't want it. I'd like to see everything calm down as quickly as possible. Regime change takes chaos. And ideally, we don't want to see so much chaos. So we'll see how it does. The Iranians are very good traders, very good business people. And they got a lot of oil. They should be fine. They should be able to rebuild and do a good job. They're never going to have nuclear. But other than that, they should do a great job.
So notice right there how President Trump framed that. He was asked directly, do you want to see regime change in Iran? Kind of shrugs his shoulders and says no. But if there was, there was. Thus indicating the door is not entirely closed, yet it would have to likely be an organic uprising within Iran And there's never been a closer time to that, just given the fact that the Iranian regime survives due to the fact that it has a grip on its people that can't be loosened. Well, now the regime in Iran is in huge trouble, right? They've lost their military control. They've lost their air defenses. They've proven to be a complete paper tiger, an absolutely weak military force. They have no ability to shoot any planes that might want to come into Iran. They can't attack whatsoever. They have limited missiles remaining. There's not much that can go on here. There's not much they can do. And if there was ever going to be a time for an uprising, you would think it would indeed be right now. Now, I'm not saying there will be an uprising, but I'm also pretty confident the United States is not going to further take action unless Iran pushes forward with a nuke, which, again, as we just discussed in this video earlier, they seem to have every intention of wanting to do. Now, could that just be showmanship? Of course, there is agreement for the ceasefire. But for those of you who didn't see the video earlier in the day, I'll show you the video where Trump was very upset talking about Israel, he felt, and Iran violating the ceasefire, dropping an F-bomb. He seems frustrated by the ceasefire, even though if it's fragilely holding right now. Let's go ahead and play his comments.
Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I've never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because of one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
In terms of where we go from here, we are in very uncharted territory due to the fact that a ceasefire agreement, while fragile, is holding at the moment. Yet we have Iran vowing to push forward to get nukes after they lost all their facilities. And the reality is we have to look at this and understand they might not even have that ability anymore, and they're just lying about it. I mean, the Iranians lie about everything. You can't trust a word coming from the Iranian government's mouth. Not one single word can be trusted. That's just the reality of the situation. If they do push forward to try to get nukes again, I can guarantee you that with 100% certainty, strikes will then continue, the ceasefire will fail, and we will see planes back in the air. Now, when could that happen? I don't know, probably not in the short term, because I imagine rebuilding underground bunkers is going to take a significant amount of time. But there's also the chance that, the Iranian government goes down, the new government has no interest in nukes. It's just important to understand we're in uncharted territory. We've never been in this situation before where Iran's been crippled to this point. Their facilities have been destroyed, and yet they're vowing to push forward while also in a peace deal. And Trump saying if there's essentially organic regime change, we can live with that, but we're not going to force it on them. There's still a lot of moving pieces. We are not out of the woods yet. We're still in a very unpredictable time. It's important to recognize that. But I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Costs you guys nothing. It's totally free. Helps boost the channel. Hit the bell. Make sure you have all your notifications on so you don't miss a thing. Let's all hope my AC gets fixed in the short term due to the fact that I'm not built for this kind of heat. We're talking 100-degree temps right now, and I am cooking right now. But anyways, whenever we have new updates, I'll bring them to y'all. I'll see you next time.